Welcome to another episode of Murders, Mysteries, and More. My name is Kaylee.
And my name is Desi.
And be sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell next to the subscribe button to turn on your post notifications. Before we get into this case, we always encourage those who have useful information to any unsolved case, please report to your local police and sheriff department.
Insert Law and Order SVU noise. One of the Low Country's most infamous cases, the Murdaugh murders, has a new update. If you haven't watched it already, I highly recommend you to watch our Alex's Web of Lies, the Murdaugh murders exposed. It goes really into depth about the crazy kind of shit that has happened before this update. But this video will make a lot more sense after you watch that, but we'll still give you a brief summary. Anyways, grab your popcorn, snacks, and a Beppis because we are about to spill some serious tea.
So, a little brief summary recap of who Alex Murdaugh is. So, he was born May 27th, 1968, in Low Country of South Carolina. And he was a popular former lawyer in South Carolina. Um, and in 2021, his wife Margaret, she go by Maggie, and his son Paul, they were killed at their family's estate. Obviously, it was very controversial and still is. And the Murdaughs were one of the wealthiest families in South Carolina. The great grandfather, Rudolph Murdaugh III, he was actually elected as a solicitor for the 14th Judicial Court. And Alex's grandfather and father were also elected for the same position later on. So they ran a prominent injury firm. And in the early 2000s, Alex had to have knee surgery. And after surgery, they do give you oxycodone. But you do have to be careful with those pills because oxy can become very addictive if you use it in like large quantities or if you're using it for an extended period of time. So he eventually became addicted to it. And he fed into this addiction. He stole from his clients and his own firm to feed his drug abuse. He stole roughly around 9 million and he committed a whole slew of financial schemes. 2018, their housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, she supposedly slipped and fell and died. But again, there's a lot of speculation around that too. And 2 months later, his son Paul was drinking and he was underage and he was involved in a boat accident that unfortunately fatally killed a 19-year-old woman. Her name was Mallory Beach, and obviously her family filed a lawsuit.
As they should.
Yeah.
It's June 7th, 2021. Maggie and Paul were killed at the family estate. Around 10 p.m., Alex made an emergency call claiming he found their bodies by the family's dog kennels. Alex claimed he was with his mother at the time and that it couldn't be him. He did claim that this happened as a consequence of Paul's boating incident. September 4th, Alex called authorities claiming he had been shot. September 16th, he was arrested for orchestrating everything. He did claim that he put a hit on himself to give Buster a $25 million life insurance policy. He also claimed to suffer from depression and opioid withdrawal. October 2021, he was arrested for financial crimes. One involved him stealing the life insurance family policy money from the Satterfield family. July 12, 2022, he was disbarred, and 2 days later, indicated for his wife and son's murder. Of course, he pled not guilty.
In early 2023, the trial began, and the prosecution did present circumstantial evidence, which this was a video, and Alex's voice clearly was heard on the video. And Alex still claimed he was nowhere near the scene. He was with his mother who had dementia. But again, this video had proof it was taken minutes before Paul was killed. And the prosecution debated because Alex was about to be they debated that the motive was because Alex was about to be exposed for his financial fraud and theft, he killed both his wife and his son. In March 2023, after the 6-week trial, they found him guilty. He was sentenced life in prison. He also did receive 40 years due to all the financial crimes he committed. But May 2026, so just recently, the South Carolina Supreme Court overturned his murder conviction because of a shocking jury interference. And the issue is in regards to the county clerk at the time. Her name was Becky Hill. But long story short, they believe that she was being prejudiced. And regardless, he still is not going to get out of prison anytime soon because he still has to do all this time for his financial crimes. And they are expected at some point to do a new trial soon, but we don't know exactly when that's gonna be. That will be interesting to see how that goes. And we are curious about your thoughts. So please leave in the comments below what you think about this.
Just
Okay,
my ass.
and now into the Reddit comments. The first one is by Sad Sack Spinach, the Murdaugh murder convictions overturned. So, Miles Sperenza, he says that the guy is Lothan's son, but there was no way this is not going to be overturned given the extreme egregious misconduct by the clerk of court. We should not be angry about this if the verdict were allowed to stand. Much more vulnerable defendants in South Carolina would be screwed forever. He is serving 40 years, but he's still not likely to get paroled till he's at least 80 for the financial crime. So it's not likely he'll be out on a bail, which that makes sense. And this person believes that he'll probably still be convicted.
I mean, he probably will be, but let's
We'll
face it,
have to see.
we don't know when that's even gonna happen. Either way, he's gonna die in jail. He's
Yeah, because,
old.
yeah, he's old and he's got 40 years minimum
Yeah.
from because he committed financial federal crime. So,
This is your sign not to do anything financially stupid like trying to evade
yeah,
taxes or trying to skim off the top. It doesn't work. You get caught.
yeah.
The hellscape chose me, said Becky with the good hair at it again. And Raven Forest responded, except her hair is terrible.
Suburban Girl. So after reading the article and learning of the court clerk's actions, it seemed obvious that the verdict must be overturned. I am viscerally upset that such a terrible person will be allowed another bite at the apple. But again, it's the right thing to do. Everyone does need a fair trial, even terrible people.
Yeah, soft underscore growth underscore 7075. If he'd been a person of color, the order would have been was jury misconduct, but there was no harm, even if the allegations were true, and the verdict would have been upheld. That's the real tragedy here. Yeah, it is. He's
Yeah.
he gets off and like gets this kind of break because he is not a person of color, and it is so sad to
That
say that,
yeah,
but it
and
does
the
happen a
the
lot.
wealth as well.
Yeah, that too. It happens so much, and it's so unfair.
Love Morento 35. What's the best podcast to listen about this case?
Us, us,
Us.
us, us,
Murder,
us.
mysteries, and more. And I'm sure there's other great podcasts out there too, but
Oh yeah, there's like so many. I mean, this
yeah,
is a very common topic because this is a very well known case. They even made
yeah.
a Netflix documentary about it too. So
Yeah, you could also
watch
check
that
out
too.
the documentary if you want to dive more into it.
It was really good. I watched it. Can say that.
Yeah.
Sancho Mandival said, "Of course, the clerk had to interject with the dumbest advice too, telling the jury to convict him because of his body language." I mean, body language can give away a lot, but
Yeah, it can.
you can't just
And
go based
there's
off of that.
yeah, you unfortunately can't, and the thing with the video too is unfortunately you can't just only go based off of that,
That is
it
true too. You have to have like concrete evidence.
but it does kinda should make people question, was he really with his mom at the time?
We are not exactly sure when this new retrial will take place. Hopefully somewhere in the near future, like the very, very near future, it'll take place. He's still gonna be in prison for at least the next 40 years for his federal financial crime. We also want to emphasize that this does not mean justice won't ever be served. It's just gonna be a longer process because of this whole thing that happened, unfortunately. Had it not happened, it would have been fine. But sometimes things just have loopholes and don't work the way you want them to. So, thank you for listening to another episode of Murder, Mysteries, and More. Again, check out our video on the case.